Now we'll be talking about the CFA Investment Management Certificate 2013. This video is to help you pass on a paper 1 exam for CFA IMC 2013. It does not mean if you look at this video you're gonna pass. It is also recommendable you read the chapter on the book, and then you can consolidate with the video, and then you're likely to pass on the CFA IMC 2013. Firstly, you are talking about the approved person and then controlled function and the investment environment with the firm, where a firm proposes to appoint an individual to undertake a controlled function. The person must apply to grant the individual the status of approved person. The person must satisfy the FSA as a honest person who has integrity and a reputation. All this will be proved by his or her experience, competence, and capability. The person is being trained to perform the responsibility. The person cannot have any case related to bankruptcy. FSA can either grant or withhold the approval to the person. In case the approved person leaves the company must inform the FSA no later than 7 days. The event. There are 5 categories of function: governing function, chief executive and director, required function, appointment, and the oversight compliance oversight function, money laundering reporting function, etc. System and control function: the person is in a firm responsible for reporting to the governing body in relation to its affair, risk control, and internal system and control. Significant management function: only relevant to large firms where a significant management function is allocated to a senior manager. And finally, customer function: the customer function are given advice on dealing, arrange deals in, and managing investment. To perform this duty, a person must be granted an approved person is stated by FSA. Training and competence: all staff employed in an authorized investment firm must be competent. The employee must be assessed as competent in that specified activity that he or she is performing. The employee must be supervised all the time. The company has to have criteria and procedures relating to the specific point at which the staff assessed as competent. Before the firm permits an employee advise any client or investor, the supervisor has to pass an appropriate examination. The firm has to make sure if the staff has passed the appropriate qualification. The company must review on a regular and frequent basis the staff competence to ensure they remain competent for the role. Professionalism required for retail investment advisor: the FSA, as from January the 1st, 2013, advisor will need to subscribe a code of ethics, hold appropriate qualification, include any gaps filled, carry out at least 35 hours of continuing professional development a year, hold a statement of professional standards SPS from accredited body. These standards will be maintained and enforced by FSA and its successor. Firm will be required to submit data that such occurrence of 3 complaints involve the advisor over 12 months. If the advisor do not meet the criteria of SPS, they won't be able to make a recommendation to retail customer from January 1st, 2013. CPD is seen by FSA as appropriate qualification. CPF, continued professional development, comprise 35 hours a year trained to update the professional. FSA approved person states his own legal license to operate as retail investment advisor in the UK. The firm must keep the standard of FSA all the time. Now we jump to chapter 2, that we're talking about record keeping and report information. The firm are required to keep the files and name of those who have transactions for 5 years for MIFID, which stands for Marketing in Financial Instrument Directive, and 3 years for other institutions. Occasional reporting. If the company carry out investment on client behalf, the statement is required to show the client all essential information concerning the execution of the order, essential maturity, delivery, or expiry date of derivative, whether the transaction closed out on an open future position, periodic reporting. Once a firm performs investment on behalf of the client, the company must provide the client once every 6 months that disclosure every transaction include date. If the firm run a portfolio, then the statement must be made in a weekly basis. Record keeping. The firm must make a retained copy of every statement that is supplied to the client. For MIFID, which I have just said, the Marketing Financial Instrument Directive must be at least 5 years minimum. For institution that is not MIFID, at least 3 years. Now you go to reporting information about authorized funds to unit holders. And in order to provide the unit holders with regular and relevant information about the progress of authorized fund, manager must prepare short report and a long report half yearly and annually. Send the report to all unit holder and make the long report available to unit holder on request. So anytime they ask, they want to see the plan you have for the long term, and then in the short term it keeps changing all the time according to the event that happens day to day running. So the report must state the type of investment scheme or sub-funds, the policy and the strategy and the objective, so a brief assessment of its risk profile. In the case of UCTIS, that stands for Undertake of Collective Investment Security Directive, that's transferable. This institution, I repeat, UCTIS, it stands for Undertake for Collective Investment Intransferable Securities Directives, because into European Union many other members, they can invest in other state country at the same time they can withdraw, and then there is no bureaucracy to invest from one country to the other. That's the UCTIS running under the regulation that was set up in FSMA Act 2000, which is provide the regulation for the whole Europe. So in the case of UCITS, must disclose the indicator and any subsequent changes to that figure. Enable the unit holder to into context the result where the investment activity of the scheme during the period. So make the investor aware of all steps that the firm that is working on his behalf have done. So they need to keep aware of where his money is going and his return and everything. So keep the market in cap clean. All information available for the investors. The long report essentially contains the accounts and the reports prepared by the fund manager, the depository, and the auditor. Now you jump to chapter 6, section 3, same chapter still, market conduct and financial crime, money laundering, terrorism, finance. Money laundering is the process by which criminals disguise the resource for their proceeds of crime. The Proceeds of Crime Act 2002, POCA, which stands for Proceeds of Crime Act 2002, was implemented to improve the Terrorism Act 2000, and that all previous anti-money laundering legislation and extends to any other crime, not just serious crime, could be from drug trafficking and terrorism offense and smuggling, so any crime. It's based on the Act 2002. It is a criminal offense not suspect of a behavior that would ordinarily give rise to such a suspicion. In other words, the staff must train to look thoroughly at any company through their statements over past 5 years and make assessment by each period to see any suspicion at any stage. It must be reported according to FSA rules. The Money Laundering Regulation 2007. The Money Laundering Regulation 2000 implemented the third European Union Money Laundering Directive and came into effect in December 2007. It imposed a combat money laundering. Look through every company where they offer risk that affecting its activity. Look at the type of level of products and service, type of customers that the firm does businesses. If one of those companies does not show consistency, the staff may consider it as suspicious. There is an obligation on firm to pursue customer due diligence, essentially verifying the identity of the customer and determining the base for the client's relationship. Under 2007 regulation, firm must identify the customer and verify customer's identity on the basis of documents, data, or information obtained from a reliable and independent source, credit or financial institution subject to third money laundering directive, listed company on regulated markets with a specified disclosure obligation, and to due diligence where business is conducted non-face-to-face basis in respect of a correspondent bank relationship where the person is politically exposed person. The political exposed person you call PEP, P-E-P. As regard PEP's firms is obliged to have in place procedure to ascertain whether an individual is a PEP. Every PEP must be approved by the senior management. Adequate measures to establish source of funds and the source of wealth. A PEP is defined as a person who discharges outside the UK prominent public function, an immediate family member of such a person, and known close associates. The FSA rules require firms to appoint a money laundering reporting officer, which stands MLRO, Money Laundering Reporting Officer. The MLRO is responsible for the oversight of the firm's anti-money laundering activity, is the key person in the firm's implementation of anti-money laundering strategies and policies to enable suspicion customers and the transaction to be recognized and reported to the authorities, the serious organized crime agencies, to ensure that if a customer comes under investigation, the firm can provide its part of the audit trail. The FSA no longer provides detailed rules on combating money laundering, but has a high standard level principle in the informal guidance relating to the money laundering contained in CYSC. The FSA places emphasis on the guidance provided by the Joint Money Laundering Steering Group. Is made up of the leading UK trading association in the financial service industry. It aims to promulgate the good practice in good countering money laundering and to give practical assistance in interpreting in the UK laundering regulation. Joint Money Laundering Steering Group requires that every company must make sure over the company that they does business in a timely manner due to money laundering scheme. Firm must detect criminals invest their money in the business, so it needs following procedures that check all satisfactory evidence of the identity of those with whom they do business, and also keep the record for 5 years. There is an obligation for staff to report to MLRO, which is the Money Laundering Report Officer, any suspicion or reasonable ground to suspect money laundering. Inside dealer, the Justice Criminal Act 1993 came into force April 1994. This act gave your European Union directive on inside dealer dealing while in possession of information. Encourage another to deal that it will occur. Disclose information to other done in the proper performance of one's duty, which causes a market abuse. On the 1st of July 2005, the Financial Service and Market Act 2000 on the market abuse was implemented. The European Community Directive on Inside Dealer and Market Manipulation, the FSMA, which is FSAMA, is a Financial Service Market Act, gave power to FSA to prosecute a number of offences under FSMA and other legislation. On FSMA, Section 401 and 402 can be found the legality to apply. One of the examples of inside dealer could be A work in XYZ corporation and has a friend B. They meet somewhere and they tell B that the XYZ will be take over. So the B go over and buy its share. When they make an announcement that the company has just been taken over, its shares rise up, and the B, the friends of A who works in a company, and they gave him the information which is illegal, he makes the profit. The B make the profits in an unfair way based on the information that his friends gave him Okay, now UK Bribery Act 2010. The Bribery Act 2010 came into force in July 1st, 2010, replaced all the old laws of bribery with a new comprehensive anti-bribery code. There are 4 offenses: pay bribery, receiving bribery, the bribery of foreign public official, and failure of commercial organization to prevent bribery. Section 4, Chapter 6, Section 4, Complaints and Financial Ombudsman Service. Consideration of the complaints by the firm itself. If the firm is not satisfied and is eligible to use the Financial Ombudsman Service, independent investigation of the complaint involving both a mediation stage and the possible subsequent determination by stage by a financial ombudsman. A firm must have in place and operate appropriate and effective procedures for handling complaints. These procedures must be written down, and all staff need to be made aware of them. The firm must publish its own internal complaints handling procedures. A firm receive a complaint must, by the end of 8 weeks after its receipt of the complaint, send the claimant the final response, a written response which explains why it's not in a position to make a final response and indicate when it expects to be able to provide one. Inform the claimant that he may now refer the complaint to the Financial Ombudsman Service. Enclose a copy of the Financial Ombudsman Service standard explanatory leaflet, so make him aware what the step he has to do. A firm must keep a record of complaints and leave it available for MIFID, which MIFID, Marketing in Financial Instrument Directive. That's the body that regulates the whole system, investment system, from one country to the other into European Union. So the Financial Ombudsman Service has 2 jurisdictions. The compulsory jurisdiction automatically covers firms regulated by the FSA for certain type of complaint. Voluntary jurisdiction covers firms for certain type of complaints not covered automatically by law under compulsory jurisdiction by contractual agreement with the Financial Ombudsman Service. The Financial Ombudsman Service operates a scheme to facilitate the settlement of a dispute between a customer and a firm where a complaint has not been resolved to the satisfaction of the claimant. However, the complaint must be sent to Financial Ombudsman Service within 6 years or within 3 years after the customer knowing the problem. The maximum money awarded the Financial Ombudsman Service is £150,000. The Financial Service Compensation Scheme, which deal with firms that are insolvent, redress must be sought after throughout Financial Ombudsman Service. Only certain kind of claim are eligible for compensation. In relation to investment business, these are known as protect investment business and are defined as designated investment business carried on by the relevant person with claimant or agent on his or her behalf. The activity of the manager or trustee of an out, provided that the claim is made by a unit holder. The maximum claim brought in financial service compensation schemes is £50,000. That was raised up in January 2010. which was £48,000 before.